$4,716 per year as a new child tax credit payment has been announced. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to share with you the details of a new child tax credit payment that lawmakers do continue to introduce that would translate into $4,716 per year per child, and it would be distributed on a monthly basis. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. However, really fast before we do, if you're looking for honest, accurate, reliable, and transparent information each and every day so you can stay posted on what's actually going on and how all of these changes are going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course anything popping up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of, well, then you're in the right spot, because that is exactly my dedication and my promise to you and everybody right here in the community to continuously do all the research every single day, break it down into these short videos, which I deliver a couple times to help you out in any way that I possibly can. And again, pointing out anything you can possibly grab right now. As we all understand, it's a very busy, confusing, and uncertain time, and it's a very expensive time that we're currently living through. And I get it. A lot of people need a lot of extra money right now and other resources out there. So again, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. So please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends, family, and social media so we can help out as many people as we possibly can right here in the community. All right, thanks so much. Let's get into it and talk about the new child tax credit payments, how this translates into over $4,700 a year, and how they want to start distributing these checks on an ongoing monthly basis for basically every single child under your roof. Sounds pretty good, right? Let's talk through the details about this, because this would be a major change over the previous child tax credit payments that went out in the second half of 2021 and the current child tax credit payments that are available right now for people that file a tax return. So let's just talk through the details about this. So, as you probably know, if you go forward and you file a tax return, you can claim a child tax credit on there, right? That's on your tax return. However, remember the second half of 2021, they started sending out monthly checks. Do you remember that? July through December of 2021, these payments went out to about 68 million kids and about 38 million households. So a lot of households are getting these ongoing monthly checks. And then we were rolled over to 2022. The payments stopped. However, we've seen a number of different proposals over the last couple of years here, and this is the most recent one, and this is the one that lawmakers are really clinging to now. And I want to bring you all the details about this because this is dramatically different than the other proposals that we've seen out there, and the dollar amounts are higher. All right, so let me talk you through all the details and exactly what you need to know. Number one, they want to distribute these on an ongoing monthly basis, okay? So this would not be something that you would need to file and get on your tax return. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but these would be established immediately upon the birth of a child. And obviously, if your child is, say, 5, 6, 10, 15, whatever, basically any child under the age of 17 would be eligible for this, provided that you would be the person claiming them as a dependent on your tax return in the event that you would be filing a tax return. Now, again, this is not tax advice, this is not accounting advice, but I'm basically saying that even if you don't file a tax return, if you were to file a tax return, if you were to claim a child on your tax return as a dependent, then this is what I'm talking about, okay? It would have to be your dependent, not somebody else's dependent, okay? So that kind of makes sense. Anyway, anybody under the age of 17. Now, here's what's interesting about it. They would want to distribute these on an ongoing monthly basis. $393 per month is what it would translate into. And again, that is exactly the number that they said. So, kind of interesting number. Not really sure where they came up with the 393, but that is the number that they have out there right now. By the way, 393 multiplied by 12 months is $4,716 through the course of the entire year, okay? It's a lot of money, right? Nearly $5,000 in a year per child. Now get this too as well. Remember, previous child tax credit payments, there was a limit on the number of kids. Generally, it was about 3, right? Well, get this. This would be no limit. No limit. You could have 1 kid, you could have 2, you could have 5, you could have 7, you could have 77. Doesn't matter. As long as they're your dependents, it would be unlimited. Okay, so this would be a huge, huge change from other proposals that we've seen out there and other child tax credit payments that we've seen over the last few years here. So that is another major change. Next, this would also be eligible for everybody, not necessarily somebody that has an income under, the thresholds is say 75 grand a year or 150 as a married couple. This would be opened up to everybody regardless of income. Seems weird, right? But yeah, that's what they want to do here. So Somebody earning, say, $10,000 a year would be getting these payments. Somebody earning $100,000 a year could get these payments. Somebody earning $1 million a year could get these payments. So that is something also that is a major change, because previously with these child tax credit payments, there's always an income threshold, right? Depending on what it is, depending on the latest piece of legislation, but usually there's an income threshold of, say, $75,000 as an individual, $150,000 as a married couple. Sometimes it's $200,000 as a married couple and $100,000 as an individual. But again, they want to have no income thresholds, no limit on kids, ongoing monthly checks, and this is what they want to do. Okay, so let me tell you the piece of legislation that I'm talking about. This one is called the End Child Poverty Act. There, I nailed it. Okay, third time's a charm, like they say. Anyway, it takes me 3 times sometimes also. Anyway, let me say that again. The End Child Poverty Act. That is the piece of legislation that I'm talking about right here in this video, okay? So if you want to look it up and, do some research on it on your own, feel free to do so if you'd like to. Otherwise, these are the major points about this that they are talking about, and this actually does have quite a bit of, traction, and it does have quite a bit of support from many different lawmakers that are currently in Congress right now. Now, to be fair, this has not passed through Congress yet, okay? However, this is something that does have widespread support. Now, one thing that I want to point out as well, in the event that they start moving forward in this, with this through Congress, I want to say this much. It'll likely be changed a little bit, okay? Now, this is the original proposal. This is the original introduction of this bill. I would anticipate there's probably going to be some income thresholds put around this. I wouldn't anticipate, and I wouldn't suspect that most lawmakers would be on board sending out ongoing monthly checks to people earning $400,000 a year, $500,000, $700,000, $1 million, $5 million, $20 million. I just can't foresee them wanting to send out a couple $100s a month to people earning that much money. There's just no way. So in the event that they start working their way through this in Congress, I would anticipate one of the changes that I would anticipate, and again, I'm not really sure what Congress is going to do, but I would say this much. I would highly anticipate there would be some income thresholds put around this, because right now, remember, the way that it's being introduced, no income thresholds. However, I would anticipate they would wrap something around it. Maybe $75,000 a year for an individual, $150,000 for a married couple, maybe $100,000 for an individual, $200,000 for a married couple, something like that. I would anticipate that's what it is. Maybe they'll do a phase out like they do with a lot of these other check programs out there, some kind of phase out. So if you earn, say, $75,000 to $100,000, then it phases out, and anything over $100,000 as an individual would be, obviously zero, okay? Maybe they have a phase out from, say, $150,000 to $200,000 as a married couple, okay? So we've seen that before with other proposals like this. We've seen this before with other things like stimulus checks a few years ago. We saw phase outs with that depending on income, but this is the proposal that's out there, and again, this is just another one. Now, here's what's interesting about this. Since, say, 2021, we've seen, I'm going to say, 4 different proposals that have come out talking about reinstating the child tax credit payments. We've seen a number of these coming out, and this is another one, and this one seems to be, as of right now anyway, the most promising and the one that is getting the most traction in Congress, okay? It doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be passed in its current state. I would anticipate it would be fixed up a little bit and maybe changed, because that's what Congress likes to do, right? They like to introduce things, and then they like to change it a whole bunch before they actually push it through, pass it, and then push it on to the president for a signature, right? Anyway, I want to bring this to your attention because this is something they're still talking about. And at any given point, they could bring it to the floor and they could hold votes on this thing, or they could wrap it up in another bill, and which is what they like to do all the time as well. Anytime that they get a major bill coming through, they usually put a bunch of other bills within it, right? And then they kind of push it through as one major package. So wouldn't be shocked to see that happen either as well. So anyway, want to bring this to your attention. This is another one that's out there right now. As I do get more details on this or anything else going on right now, of course, I'll bring it to your attention right away. So please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Also, share this video with your friends, family, social media. Even if this doesn't apply to you, maybe share this video with somebody that you do think that this applies to, because we want to stay posted on what's actually going on, because there's a lot of people out there that may not be recognizing that these checks could possibly be arriving at some point in the relatively near future when Congress moves forward with this. Anyway, thanks again for joining me. Please subscribe, share the video, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, hope this one helps you. And again, I will keep you posted as I do get more information on anything going on right now. Enjoy your day, have a good one, and catch you again later.